We are in our week 3 of our series from now on, and we've kind of opened up the forum of questions of what's going on and why do you think the way you do of Jesus, whatever it may be, you've been able to ask it. You've been able to text me right during the message to be able to get your answers, and it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it, but tonight we're not going to open up the forum today. I just want to talk to you guys about something that is really important. It's really important to actually take time to understand. And I've struggled with this. I know you guys struggle with it sometimes, but there's things that Jesus does for us that if we don't pause and take a look, we will miss his love. And we'll miss exactly what he has for us, even in the hardest times. This is a message that I've lived out fully, where it's like, man, I really do need to take a look at what God does for me so I can see his love, because sometimes I question if he's even there. Just this past week, I questioned if he's even here. Life is tough. It throws curveballs at you, and you just don't know how to react. And it's something that we need to train ourselves on, so that way when life does throw you a curveball, you can jump right into his word. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. And we're going to be asking the question of, how do you know God's love is there? And how do you know that we can trust that Jesus loves you? And what we do is when we see these questions and we go through all of this, we have to go straight to the source to get our answers. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to jump right into John 15, 10 through 12. And it says this: if you keep my commands, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remained in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Have you ever been in a relationship where, a friendship, a relationship, whatever it may be, where you have to do a whole bunch of tasks to get someone's love? You have to do all of these things. You have to follow all these rules to just feel the love of someone. Maybe that's your home life right now. Maybe mom or dad gives you a long list, and you just feel the pressure of getting it done so that way they will love you. Or maybe that's a friend right now where they only ask so much of you, and then when you simply ask one thing for help, they just whatever. But you know that you have that pressure of getting everything done for them so you can feel their love. But that's not what Jesus is saying here. Jesus is saying that his love is going to be with you regardless. That weight of doing all the rules is gone. The pressure of getting it right every single time is gone. And we should try to love everyone else as if he's loved us. Without that pressure. Without the stress of giving someone rules to find love for them. And guys that are younger, it may be tough to actually sit and talk about love. It may be hard to understand the concept of it. Maybe you think immediately the Hallmark love. And this is something bigger. This is something that we do need to take the time. We really want to see it. And it says right there, the joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. God's love is the only thing we need to feel the joy in life. Some of us run to worldly things to find love and life inside of this brokenness that we just don't understand what's going on inside of, so we just run to something different. But in reality, we need to run and trust that Jesus loves us. Is there somewhere in your life right now where you don't see Jesus' love? Where you can't trust it fully? Is it because you think there's a long list for Jesus' love for you? Or has someone put the pressure on you that you just don't know what true love is? And we go on to the Psalm 36, 5 through 10, it says this: your steadfast love, O Lord, extends to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the mountains of God. Your judgments are like the great deep. Man and beast you save, O Lord. How precious is your steadfast love, O God. The children of mankind take refuge in the shadow of wings. Sit right there. The shadow of your wings. When I think about that, I think about him just, Jesus just getting onto the cross and just spreading his wings for us. Taking the nails in his hands and his feet for us. And we can find refuge in him. His wings are out wide every single day for us. Why do we run to everything else? Why do we think that we can't find love in something? Why is it so hard to trust that Jesus loves you? Well, we're broken. That's why. And we think that we try to fill everything up inside of us, and it's just tough. And what's really cool about an imagery as well that I thought of and I saw was like a mom bird taking care of its young. Spreading the wings out and making sure that everything possible, everything that she does possible is for safety of the children, of the baby birds. And it's something that Jesus is doing for us on our walk. Even though we might get into something dangerous, he's right there, walking with us, scooping us. And right here, this is a bird. And you can't tell in the video, the sound was really like ASMR-ish, and I would probably fall asleep if it was there, but it's muted. But you can see the camera shaking a little bit in a second. The storm is coming in, like it's gnarly, and this mom is doing everything that she can to. If you can't see it all the way, the wings are scooped underneath the baby birds, so none of the wind and none of the rain is going to touch her children. Replace the bird with Jesus. Replace the baby bird with you. You can find refuge and love in Jesus, regardless of your storm. Regardless of what is going on in your life, the rain and wind will come, but he will be steadfast. He will be there. He will be constant for you and for me. From now on, you can trust that Jesus loves you. I questioned this just the other day. I prepped the talk. I was ready to go. Friday comes, and I get a text from my dad. Hey, doctor said I have to go to the ER. Okay. All right, that's fine. Like, I mean, we've done this time or two. I mean, this is simple. You know, like that's my first initial thought, and then he calls me. He goes, like, I don't know if it's cancer or not, but there's some things going on. I have tests and I have all these things. I don't know yet, but I just want to let you know I'll be here until Tuesday. Okay. And then I go up there on Friday, which so happened to be my 2-year-old's birthday. And I go up there Friday night and I sit with him, and on the outside he's fine. On the inside he's broken. Physically and mentally. And I look at him and I wonder, does Jesus love everyone? Because if he did, why? And I don't really understand that concept yet, if I'm quite honest. But I know he does. Because a year ago, my 2-year-old was in the hospital. RSV ragingly came out of nowhere. He got sent to the hospital, and we had no clue what to do besides monitor his oxygen levels. I'm sitting there in the hospital hearing a beep of oxygen levels going into my child that was 1 year old, asking these same questions. And then all I had to do in that time last year was sit and go to the source. So I did. I paused, I reflected, my wife and I in the hospital together. And we saw Jesus' love in our lives. We saw it in relationships. I was able to leave my job to go and be with my child and not worry about work at all. The relationships that he put inside of my workplace, my friends, and my family. The relationship he put in with my wife to where her family was able to pick up Miles and take him from school and get him home and get him fed and bathed. Like the relationship that Jesus gave us because he loved us. The core friends that we had that were always, hey, do you need food? Do you need something? What do you need? The love. And I saw it in creation. I saw it when I'm looking down in the bed and I don't even know how to hold him because there's so many wires, but I see a beautiful child that I'm able to parent. And then through challenges, we saw it through us working together as a family to figure out what storm was next. To figure out how are we going to do this, but we saw God's love. And Friday in the hospital, as I'm sitting next to my dad, I see God's love with the doctors. They come in and are asking all the right questions. I see it with the doctors knowing that he's already fought cancer twice. Once just 4 months ago. And they're like, hey, what do you need? Do you guys need any food? What is going on? They're asking us as a family sitting there watching him not know what's going on. Loving on him, loving on the family. That's Jesus. There's no doubt about it. No one's kind. We know this. We live in this world. It's broken. But Jesus is, and he loves. And talking with my dad that night, not knowing what surgery he was going to have, when it was going to happen, how long he was going to be in there, he just knew Tuesday was something. He looked at me and said, "You're not staying the night, right?" I said, "Well, I thought I was." He goes, "No, go home. It's your son's birthday." I said, "Okay, all right, I'll be out tomorrow and the next day." He goes, "No. Jesus has called you to love those around you. Go do it. I'll be fine. Those students need you more." He loves you guys. He doesn't know you. In that moment, I heard God saying, those students need you more. Your generation needs Jesus' love more than any other generation known to man. And it starts with you. And it starts with you trusting that Jesus is alongside you through everything that you'll ever come about. So how do you see Jesus' love in your everyday life? In your relationships, in creation, through challenges? When is the last time you paused and went through those? Where in your life has God shown you love when you don't think you can find it? When you wake up in the mirror and question who you are? Trust Jesus loves you more than anyone in this world will ever do. And maybe you're here and hearing that for the first time. Maybe you're hearing that and you're like, there's no way someone will love me. Have you met me? Gently, I want to say this. You're wrong. Jesus will always love you. When you choose to do the wrong thing in the hallways, when you choose to disobey your parents, when you choose to do all the worldly things instead of coming to Christ, He will love you in your darkest and your lightest times. If that's you, and you've never heard that before, and you've never actually had a relationship with someone that actually loves you, there's going to be a time here, just a moment, where you can jump into a relationship with someone that will always be your refuge, who will always open up his arms and protect you from anything. Any guy, any girl, any situation you'll ever go through, he will protect you. You just got to trust him. If that's you today, I encourage you to take a leap into this relationship and a leap into this prayer in just a second with every head bowed, every eyes closed. You can make these words your own. You can say something like this.